Hey, it's Aries again. Figured I'd sit down so you guys aren't looking at my legs the whole time this time. And I actually had to reshoot this again because when I went to upload the video, it caught half the TV was on the screen. um, but yeah, so we're gonna cover this this attack right here. One of our team members attacked this base, and I'm here to give a few fundamental pointers on it. Hopefully I won't run too long. My videos have been pretty long. It's kind of hard to cut down the information short and still get the point across. So what I'm going to do is offer a few pointers here, and then basically what I do is I want to change up the army a little bit, but not lose this attacker's fundamental army because maybe this is something they enjoy. I change out some things, and then I try to do a one-to-one tack. Now, the difference is this attacker is a lower town hall than me, and this is a war base versus I'll be attacking a random. So there are a few variants. This is pretty much guaranteed to have CC troops. I wasn't going to keep attacking bases till I found one with CC troops, and my troops are a little higher. So what I did to compensate for that, to make it a more one-to-one, is I don't have CC troops in my siege machine, and as you can see, I attacked a much harder base. It's still the same town hall as that one, but this one's a much stronger base. This one, I also like the base layout. It's a more anti 3-star base. I think this is a good design and kind of similar to a design I have on my own war base, whereas this base is more of the typical one you see where it's either a square or circle, however you envision in your head, where the harder defenses are in the middle. So yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the Clash of Clans attack, and we'll give those pointers. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and cover the screen a little bit. I don't really want you guys focused on necessarily who I'm covering. Oops. Lord, I hope that will. Also, I'm not going to totally disregard the video just because of that. I want to give some discretion, but if you really want to search who this is, then you could find it. Okay. So I've watched this video a dozen times, and the main points that I would like to make here is, so with this particular attack, what I want to focus on is revamping this army a little bit with a few fundamental ideas in mind. So when you go and build your army, you can change out different troops, but you keep the same fundamental mindset in when you're using your troops. So again, these are general principles for the fundamentals. Okay, so obviously, if you're an excellent attacker and you have this, you're attacking a maxed out town hall with a very niche attack, anything can go really. But for people who need to at least get the fundamentals down, they're going to see drastic gains on their attacks, 20, 30, 40% added on to what they're attacking. So that's what I'm addressing, is the fundamentals. There's exceptions to all rules. So what I want people to break down in their mind on a base is that it's broke down, again, most of the time into 3 quadrants you need to think of. You have your left flank, you have your center lane, and you have your right flank, depending on which side you're attacked. But I know this attacker is going to attack from this side, so we're going to call this the left flank, the right flank, and the center lane. You have to address all 3 of these, otherwise you're more than likely not going to get a 3-star. There's a very high chance you won't get a 3-star. So you have to attack the left, you have to attack the right, and you have to attack the center. Now generally, because if you look at the left and the right, they're only being attacked from the left. Like if we attack down here, they're only attacked from the left side. There's no troops down here. The center is generally going to have the biggest, baddest troops, and it's going to take the most damage. So immediately, what's going to happen, you're going to see, is the troops are going to go up the middle here, and the sides won't be addressed. A quick fix with even this army, and I'm fairly certain this attacker could have got a 3-star with a few of these adjustments, not even changing out the army. would be to put two of the giants over here, 2 giants over here, and 2 witches over here and 2 witches over here, and then start the attack. So let's pretend that they went ahead and did that. Keep that in mind. That should be the first move. Now let's watch the attack start here. Actually, I'm gonna address the whole army real quick. So a fundamental thing on the troop side is you need to have you have troops that have high health and low attack. Those are tanks. They can take a lot of getting hit, but they can't deal out a lot of damage. Then you got some middle range troops that have good health, good attack, and then you have some niche like higher DPS or damage per second troops that do a lot of damage or have some specialty, but they can't really take a lot of hits. So what we're looking at here is we got 4 giants, 2 golems, and 2 ice golems, and a siege equipment, which is a tank. It's got plenty of health. The king and the yak. That is too much tankiness. We need you're gonna need a middle, like a meat and potatoes part of your army. So what I did, and you'll see in the one I got, is I did away with the giants. I did away with the golems. I have 1 golem, the same siege machine, the king, and the yak. And that's gonna be enough. The reason why I freed that up is so I put in Valkyries. That's a good middle one for this town hall, this particular attacker. And then also I lowered the witches down to 9. That way you can still have your witches, but you have that bulky middle. I think I had like 11 Valkyries or something. Moving on to the heroes, I kept the heroes the same. I like what they went with on the equipment. Equipment seems fine to me. The only minor adjustment I would do is, and for the sake of time, I'm not going to go deep into it, but the yak needs to be on the king, and the unicorn needs to be on the queen. So along with one of the fundamentals I mentioned, which is broken into quadrants, another one that you absolutely need to do is make sure that the bulk of your army, which is needs to go up the middle, okay? And with that, all your tanking troops need to go up the middle too. That includes your king. If your king goes around the outside, it doesn't do what it was built to do, and that alone could cost you the win on a battle. So you need to always, for these fundamental classes, and maybe even always across the board, make sure your king goes up the middle, okay? Got to make sure the king goes up the middle. That's going to be a huge thing. So with the king, we'll send the yak, because the yak will have high health and they can soak up a lot of damage. So that way your meat and potatoes, your troops will win the battle for you. Because a lot of people think that because the heroes are so strong that they're going to win the battle alone, and sometimes they do. But what gets often neglected is the bulk of your troops, and you need to really support them. You need the bulk of your troops to go up the middle. They're going to win the battle for you. Okay, so we talked about an even blend for the troops. We talked about what we do with the heroes. Now with the spells, this is too many different spells. We had earthquake, electric, poison, frost, and so when you're battling, again, what I'm seeing is there's a lot of growth that can be had here. So I wouldn't focus on so much like, oh, what spell do I need at what time, or where do I need to put it, because I have all these different spells. What's really going to give you leaps and bounds in being able to destroy these bases is 2 spells. You need free spells and rage spells. You need rage spells to get your troops momentum going forward. It's the gas pedal. You need free spells to stop them big defenses when the troops get inside of those defenses, and that's the brake on their attack, and the rage is the gas pedal on your attack. So anyways, we're gonna watch this. Also, if you do want to go with these, if you just have to, make sure you use enough to get the job done, and spells should only be in support of your troops, your main group of your army. They should never be to target one defense. You may think of one exception to that would be an air attack, where you're dropping a ton of lightning spells on the air defenses, but that, I'm not even sure if that's meta anymore. So really, most always the attacks are going to go that you need to use spells that support troops. That Eagle artillery is going to be taken out fairly quick as long as you run the front of this correctly. You don't have to worry about spending so many spells on one weapon system. It is deadly, but it's not that deadly of a weapon system. Okay, so we had one more lightning spell dropped on an extra defense. I like this as far as sending out your tank troops first. I have seen before where people send these things out after or at the end for whatever reason. That is good. Definitely sending those tank troops out first. However, I got rid of the bomb guys because you're kind of double dipping on this wall here. You're dropping the bomb skeletons to blow a hole in the wall while using the siege equipment to go through anyways. It does help your siege equipment out a little bit, but your siege equipment is there for that, like, purpose. It's well more than capable as long as it's got supporting troops around it to get deep into the base. So I would utilize those extra troop spaces as well to get a few more Valkyries or, you know, some witches. But this is nice. This is nice. I like how you're putting the defensive troops in the middle and first. So this is going to create a very solid center for your main attack force, which is all witches. And then you got your siege equipment, well protected, also very tanky. But see, right now this is the problem that we're having. So if you look, so the way the AI works on these troops is that they attack the nearest building. So they attack the nearest building, and then in some cases, you know, there's troops that attack weapon systems, but then they attack the nearest weapon system. So if we would have done like what I talked about earlier, we're putting a couple giants and a couple witches on the left and on the right, these buildings would already been worked back pretty far by now, and leaving some of these up front to where the troops want to funnel in and hit these internal weapon systems. The problem is you actually did very well on punching the center, but because we didn't address the right and the left flank, the left and the right flank, there is a total clear spot all the way to the town hall, but no troop is going to go up to that town hall. So that's almost guaranteed that the town hall won't get hit unless the only time that the troops will target the town hall is once all these buildings get worked back. So you're going to start seeing troops go left and right here. And but if we would have worked that left and right, you had a good strong center that we could have sent some troops up and definitely would have taken out that. See, this is the king should have been dropped with the with the tanky troops because it's the only one that actually has good attack. The golems don't have good attack. There's nothing really up there that has a really good attack. Maybe your CC troops that will come out of the siege equipment, but your king should be right up here in the middle as well. The king should always go up the middle generally. So we'll continue to watch this. So these are getting hammered, which is good. That's what they're there for. But you also need that support. You need your main force to be hitting all these weapon systems to knock them out. So they're not. Now we have the main force coming in. This is a little late too, I would say. They need to be shortly behind your defensive troops. But as you can see, they're doing exactly what I was talking about. The king's going to go around the right. Even these that come back are still going to find themselves going around the right side a little too much. And then your main force went all the way around. I don't know if you got that, but I did like what you did with the Royal Champion. She came in and hit took out the monolith. She's really good at coming in, helping out, knock out those huge weapon systems if you place her correctly and at the right time. This right here, I'm not sure why if you accidentally did this, but you shouldn't turn them invincible or heal them out here because there's no defensive troops hitting them. Even though this is kind of already going south because all the troops are going around the outside, they're still going to end up coming up here, and then they're going to get hit back here, and that's when you'll need to pop that. You do have some witches coming up here in the middle, but they're just not going to make it in time. They don't have enough supportive spells or troops to keep them alive. Now, you'll notice when we get to mine, I have a similar situation where my troops, it relies a little bit on my witches up the middle, and you'll see how much those supportive spells really work. But yeah, I mean, you get the general idea. So the troops are going around the outside. They're not going to make it. This is too heavy of weapon system for your queen. I mean, you almost got it. You did almost get it. If you would have just, if what would have made all the difference in the world would be the two giants on the left and the right. And I don't want you to think like, I'm not trying to fix this attack because this attack's already in the past. I'm trying to help you and everybody else understand how to attack a various variety of bases. And that's to put some troops on the left and right flank, to work back those flanks first, and then deploy your troops in the middle so your bulk army can punch the middle. I don't want to go any further really because when it ends it's going to put their name up here, but as you can see, I'll go ahead and tell for anybody who doesn't know, they end up dying and this becomes a 1-star, so the town hall doesn't get, this is about roughly what it looks like at the end. So again, we'll go ahead and hop on over to my attack, and we'll address all that again. Okay, so as you can tell on here, this is my previous attack log. So I just use these attacks. I know I have 0-star. I do that to drop trophies, but this is my actual attack. As you notice, this is the variant with the witches of that attacker's attack. I did it once and I was able to get the 3-star. So obviously I haven't perfected this attack because I only used it once, but using these fundamentals on this much harder base and no CC troops, I was still able to get the 3-star. So let's see how I was able to do that. So what I did was, I did just go with the golem, but I forgot. I actually brought 2 titans in. They're going to act as a tanky troop that also can do some damage. I got rid of the wall breakers. I don't know why I've been calling them skeleton bomb guys. Hold on, they're wall breakers. I got rid of the wall breakers, got rid of some of the witches, and ultimately was able to give me 11 Valkyries. I swapped the yak to the king, I swapped the unicorn to the queen, and I went with that basic gas and brake system, okay, with the spells to support the team. Okay, so if I need to get momentum going, I need to push my guys through these hard weapons areas, I drop the rage to get them to go ahead and that way it's less time these things are hitting you. You don't want these things to hit you very much. And then if they are hitting me, I use the freeze and such. Also back here, if you look at this is kind of a side thing I like to do. It's not really an adjustment on yours, but you can give it a try. I think it's really good to put 3 balloons up after you drop your bulk force, and then put 3 healers up. The 3 balloons will eat the mines that come up and that's trying to destroy your healers. And then your healers will be able to make it halfway through or even all the way through the base while supporting your troops. It's a great constant heal. Your queen gets them, and I just think it's very value added. So let's go ahead and watch this. My attack is I'm going to want to go and hit the town hall. That's what I'm going for. So right now you see I dropped my queen. I actually, technically should have dropped my siege first. It's the tanky one. But again, I just quickly did this, so there's going to be some errors, but fundamentally it's done correctly. So now I'm covering my right flank, okay? Because I'm attacking from down here. So I'm covering the right flank. I'm going to put up the siege, I'm going to put the queen, and I'm going to drop the royal champion. They're both ranged attacks, and I know they're going to make it into this, especially with the siege punching it. I dropped some Valkyries here, and you'll see why in a second, because I put my king down. I don't want my king to track over here for these last 3 builds. Even though I clear this flank, I don't want him to walk over here, kill it, and then go up, or walk over here, kill him, and then come back. So I just clear out all these buildings so he has a straight line forward. I'm already dropping my Titan and some Valkyries to cover this smaller, but yet still the left flank, to direct my main force up the middle. I have my tank troop, and it did its work. There comes the balloons and the 3 healers. I put them a little too close together. I would space it out a little more, but it still works. Notice the king, see, he has nowhere to go, and he doesn't even need a siege equipment, so we definitely don't need wall breakers. They push right up through the middle. I wish one or both of my Titans would have went up the middle. Probably one. You need some sort of supporting troop with a few Valkyries over here. But either way, the left flank's covered. The right flank is definitely well underway. I think I put a rage back here to kind of get them going. I also did freeze that Eagle artillery. Only 2 spells to worry about, you know, go and stop. You know, it's really easy when you're in the middle of battle. You want to stop their weapons with the freeze. You want to make your troops go a little faster and hit harder. I pop my Warden ability because they're taking quite a bit of damage. I want to preserve my bulk force here. Sometimes it lasts longer. Sometimes you're getting hit pretty hard up front. You got to pop it sooner. So yeah, still right flank looking good. The king is going in here. This is the bulk of my force. A few troops going around the side. The king goes right here, does a nice little S shape. It's going to go right up the middle. So right here, I have, I don't think I have any Valkyries left, but I have a few witches and a warden. And it's similar to how many troops you had when facing down the middle. But man, having these freeze spells, I think I'm in the middle of dropping a freeze right now. I think I had 3 of them. So I had freeze and rage. Yeah, so there you go. They're the freeze drops. And now I just have all day long to freeze this weapon system and let these witches get in there along with the warden. Still the left flank's being taken care of, the right flank's being taken care of, and my bulk army is right here in the middle. They're taking plenty of damage. I'm freezing. I was able to take down the town hall with just a few witches. There might have been some Valkyries in there. I don't think they actually got into it, but they were able to do well. And we're working the left and right flank with plenty of health left. I mean, probably could have done an even slightly more difficult. I'm certain I could have 3-starred a more difficult base as long as I practice a little more. But yeah. So that's basically it. Like I said, I had the left flank and the right flank covered, and the troops were well balanced. You need some tanking, but not too much. You need some niche troops for cleanup generally, like the witches and these minions I put out. But then you need a bulk force like Root Riders or like Valkyries. I'm sure there's a few other ones. Those are particularly my favorite. And you need your spells to support your troops and allow them to go up the middle. Yeah, so what I would say, the few points to take away here is just make sure, try to use only rage and freeze spells for your go when you want them to go, your freeze when you want their weapon systems to stop, when you want to freeze the heavy duty weapon systems. And then make sure you're protecting your force up the middle. Hit the left flank, hit the right flank first, and then make your bulk force go up the middle. Yeah, so I think that is a really good attack, and I'm confident this attacker could have definitely got the 3-star no problem. They actually were attacking a town hall up, but it looked good. There wasn't a lot of defenses left. I think if they would have, I think this is the army they should go with. Actually, I even have more optimal armies that I would do totally away with the witches, but even with this setup right here, laid out correctly and addressing that left and right flank, you would have punched up the middle and taken that town hall no problem. You definitely would have got the 2nd star. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely don't mind doing more like this. Just, you know, put in Discord or you know, in clan chat, you know, that you want me to do one over your video, and I'll do one particular over your video. If not, it seems like I'm still getting positive feedback on this, so I'll just pick a random one in a war that I think probably everybody can benefit from, that I'm seeing, and we'll cover it, and then I'll do as best I can a 1-to-1 attack to prove that, you know, these fundamentals I'm talking about, and still using a variant of their same attack, maybe their same exact attack, we'll get the 3-star. So yeah, look forward to doing the next one.